Let's see here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go ahead and dive in. Hello, everyone. It is time for another Extemporaneous Live. In this one, I'm going to be talking about 5 set and rep schemes that I really like when it comes to accessory work. It's so important to remember with your accessory exercises that if you aren't training them seriously, they're not going to carry over, You can't turn a 135-pound close grip bench press into a 3-plate regular bench press, right? So that's just something to keep in mind as I talk through all these. So, again, whether it's a 1RM deadlift or 15 rep curls, progress is getting stronger. And if you're not pushing load or reps over time, you're not going to carry over. This is a great way to get away from that 3x8 to 12 rut that a lot of people are in. What do? 5x5 compound lifts, 3x8 to 12 secondary lifts, and then 4x12 to 15 isolation. It's a pretty standard, lift by numbers programming. There's nothing wrong with that style of programming when you're first starting off. It does work really nicely, but after a while you plateau, and more importantly, you get bored. And when you're bored and not intentional in your workouts, that's when things really tend to fall apart in my experience. So with that said, the first one here, if you've been following the channel for any amount of time, especially if you follow me on Instagram, is the 2RD method. And this is short for rehearsal, reps, drop. All you're going to do is you pick a rep range, anything you like, anywhere between 6 to 20 reps, and you're going to do one set at the target rep. So for example, let's say it's 2RD8. 2RD8, by the way, is awesome for like your second press of the day after your dynamic pressing. Use it for supplemental pressing on max effort day, right? Whatever. 2RD8. First set would be a set of 8 with a given weight. The second set, you're going to go for max quality reps at that same weight. And then if you get 2 or more reps on the rep out set over the rehearsal set, you'd go heavier next time. But then after you do your rep out set, drop the weight by 10 to 20% and do another rep out set. So for example, let's say you're doing dumbbell incline, you bang out a set of 6 with a pair of 50s, then you knock out a set of 10, then you take the 40s out for a spin and maybe you hit 15 reps, you'd go heavier next time. This is my number one accessory lift progression that I often reach for in my own programming. And even with some of my athletes, what'll happen is I might have them doing, something like 3 sets of 8 to 10, and they're going to say, hey, I want to do the 2RD method instead, which frankly, if that's what they prefer to do from a coaching perspective, unless there's a very specific need, we're better off using the 2RD approach. It's also kind of a fun pseudo max effort method lift, something I've done in the past when I was putting less mental energy into my training, shall we say, as I might do something like a 2RD5 approach. I could talk at length about how the 2RD method has actually been reverse engineered 3 or 4 different times just in my time of writing programs, but that's another video. I don't want to spend 20 minutes yapping at you all and making you bored. Next up, here's the 2RP method. This is actually a new one here. Pretty much it's rehearsal and then rest pause. So pick an initial rep range of 8 to 12, and you'll do that set with, say, a set of 8 reps, right? Then you'd rest. Then that same weight, you're going to do a 3 cluster rest pause. So you might go 10, 8, 6. You'd go heavier next time because if you add that up, that's 24 reps. And the idea here is our progressive metric is if you get 1.5 on the rest pause set. So for example, let's say on set 1, it's RP 12. You do your set of 12, and then in the next set across those 3 rest pause clusters, if you exceed 18 reps, time to go heavier next time, right? 1.5, that's our metric. I think this would pair really nicely with a lot of machine type exercises like a lat pull down, a cable row. I think machine dips would be really fun with this, or even weighted chest dips would be really good. I probably wouldn't reach for this one with something like a front squat, for example. Rest pausing squats isn't something I'm really a big fan of. So just keep in mind, your mileage may vary. I think T-bar rows would actually be a really good one for this as well. Now the 8x8 method, I've talked about this one at length. I love it for isolation. I love it for work capacity. Just take a weight you can do 15 to 20 reps with, 8 sets of 5 to 8, resting only 30 seconds between sets. Once you can get all 64 reps, cut rest by 5 seconds. And once you can go 8x8 with only 15 seconds of rest, add weight next time you do it. It's great for so many different things. I've been loving this for back extensions. And I firmly believe that the 8x8 back extensions, like I did in the Ogre Accord program, has been one of the reasons my log has gone up so much lately, is because my low back has a lot more work capacity, so the log doesn't beat me up as bad. So then I have better recovery intra-log session. That way I'm able to get back to it, and it's also not impeding my deadlift, etc., etc., etc. So give the 8x8 method a try on those exercises where you find you cannot progress weight as reliably as total density of work. Number 4 is good old rest pause method here. An initial set of 10 to 15 reps, rest 20 seconds, and do 4 more mini sets to near failure. So it's 5 total clusters within that single rest pause set. And once you get 30 to 40 reps total, go heavier next time. Really good for all manner of isolation and machine pressing. I've tried it with dumbbell pressing. It can work pretty well. However, getting them into and out of place can be a little draining. So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, for lat pull downs also really, really nice there. And if you're good at chin-ups, try it for chin-ups. You'll probably get one hell of a lat pump. I unfortunately am not there yet, but we're working at it. It's also just a really good time-saving method. Then last but certainly not least, top set back off. Hit a heavy set of 5 to 8, drop the weight by 20%, knock out 2 sets of 10 to 15, and you're going to add weight when the top set is 8 or more reps. Try it with barbell rows. I think this is a particularly useful application of it. Dumbbell pressing is good. I've even done it with tricep press downs and curls in the past, because the advantage of this approach is that initial top set helps those 2 other back off sets feel a lot lighter, and in turn you actually find you may get more reps than you had initially planned. And ultimately, as long as you're working in a sensible rep range, you're going to get the adaptations that you're looking for, especially if we're just trying to build overall muscularity and strength. 5s will build muscle mass to a point, 8s build muscle mass, 10s build muscle mass, as long as we equate effort. And again, it's just a fun little way of shaking it up. So ultimately, your chest work's not filler, right? It's where you're going to reinforce your weak links, build muscle, support the big things. You're never going to turn super light accessories into big main lifts. You have to attack them with intensity and with focus. I know for myself right now, I'm trying to push my barbell row. If I want to get my deadlift north of 635 into the 650, 670 category, I got to be able to row more than 185. It's that bloody simple. I'm not going to turn a 185 barbell row into a 700-pound deadlift. But if I can continue to deadlift, continue to build my work capacity there while also building a wider foundation, come peaking time, I'm going to have overall greater capacity to hit a heavier weight. So that's just a bit of some ways you can go about making your accessory work more enjoyable. Hope that all makes sense. Hope you folks are having a good one. You let me know if you have any comments, questions, or concerns. Hit them down in the comment section below. Best topics are ones I will turn into videos. I am going to get better about doing these weekly extemporaneous videos. Especially now, I've been kind of getting a better social media strategy going. So I'm doing one of these programming type carousels every single week now. So this is an easy one for you all here on YouTube to see, because my YouTube audience, obviously, if you're not following me on Instagram, you're not going to see this stuff because, well, it's a carousel. But anyways, I hope you folks have a good one, and I'll catch you next week. Bye for now.